Good evening. It's 6 o'clock on Monday, April 24th, 2017. Welcome, and thank you for joining us tonight for the English edition of Aura News, where we bring you today's top stories, translated into English, every weeknight. As previously announced, the Democratic Party held a one-hour peaceful protest maintaining its plan for organizing new protests, separate from those at the boulevard outside of the Prime Minister's office. The protest happened peacefully without any incidents by blocking traffic on the main streets in Tirana and other towns in Albania. The DP chairman, Lulzim Basha, was at Shqiponia Square along with citizens and opposition MPs. Mr. Basha declared that there is no way back and that the protests will continue. He repeated his call for the establishment of a provisional government to guarantee free and fair elections, the fight against crime, electronic voting and counting, as well as the application of vetting, saying, "Hundreds of thousands of Albanians have joined this peaceful movement that shows our determination and not to leave Albania in the hands of crime and drugs, but to unite for free and fair elections with a provisional government that will remove the criminals from state institutions according to the decriminalization law. A government that will fight against drugs, that will create the conditions for free and fair elections, including electronic voting and counting, and that will implement vetting and the judicial reform according to the Constitution and the July 22nd agreement. God bless the Albanians." This was a warning that the determination of the public's unity to guarantee free and fair elections is indispensable. The citizens had arrived from all around the country and declared they joined this protest because of their dissatisfaction with the current government. The protest ended at noon, and the DP chairman called on opposition supporters to sing the national anthem, to disperse peacefully, and to not fall prey to any provocations. Afterwards, the DP chairman, accompanied by his wife and opposition protesters, walked to the protesters' tent at the boulevard outside the Prime Minister's office. He issued another message to the citizens, declaring, "I want to thank all Albanian citizens who rise and protest for the fate of the new republic, the fate of any honest Albanian. We will win together. All Albania can win with us." The opposition's protest in the 5 main roads of the country was held without incident. Even though it was considered to be an illegal protest, state police took all the necessary measures to maintain order. State police officers used the latest technology to record the protest and identify the protesters. This was made possible thanks to foreign experts who assisted the Albanian police officers and have trained them in how to act during the demonstration. However, police officers were not the only one recording the protest. Protesters were recording and taking pictures of the police officers as well. Sources from the state police told to an Aura News journalist that there were no incidents around the country, but the police had taken measures for any emergent situation, leaving the secondary roads open. The citizens, however, were the ones who suffered the consequences of this protest, blocking them in the middle of the street. Even though the protest was held without incident, the state police have announced that it will file all the materials to prosecution in order to start a criminal proceeding against the organizers of the illegal protests. The opposition's peaceful protest was also held in other cities of the country besides the capital. The 3 main roads in Elbasan, Lushnje and Milot were blocked for an hour. In Elbasan, the main street that connects the city with Tirana and Durrës was blocked, while Elbasan police monitored the protest. The opposition supporters also gathered at the main roundabout in Milot. Police officers spoke to the protesters with a megaphone, reminding them that their protest was illegal. The Lushnje highway was also blocked for an hour, where the opposition supporters protested peacefully. The protest was also supported by the Democratic MPs, who were engaged to maintain order and prevent violence during the protest. The citizens expressed their discontent with the daily problems and poverty they encounter. Similar to Tirana, protesters sang the national anthem before dispersing at the end of the protest. Today, Albanian Prime Minister Edi Rama, accompanied by the EU ambassador Rama was in Apollonia of Fear on the occasion of restoration work done in the archaeological park. Speaking from Apollonia, Prime Minister Rama said that it's not the time to block the roads, but it's high time to definitively open the road of making a modern, democratic, and European state, saying, "It is not time to block Albania's roads, but to unblock the road so that people can move freely. It's not time to block people, children, students, grandfathers, goods. It's time to pave the way to a modern, democratic, and European state, where everyone should feel certain of fair competition and value according to merit." PM Rama added that the cultural heritage is a potential for the development of tourism and economy. The EU ambassador to Albania, Rama, guaranteed the EU support to Albania in any challenge they face. The rehabilitation of Apollonia's archaeological park and St. Mary's Monastery was made with the European Union's financial help. The Socialist Party Parliamentary Group held its weekly meeting today, and it focused on the main point of the agenda from Thursday's plenary session, the election of the new president. The third round for the election of the new president will be held on Thursday, but it is known that the majority will not propose any name if it does not reach an agreement with the Democratic Party tomorrow. With the mediation of the members of the European Parliament, Fleckenstein and McAllister. After meeting of the Socialist Party's parliamentary group, the Socialist MP, Talan Bala, was asked about the opposition's protest. He declared that the opposition does not understand why it is protesting, and added that the country needs the judicial reform, declaring, "I think that Basha and the protesters do not know why they're protesting. Do you know why they're protesting? They should say why they're protesting, because this country needs employment and the judicial reform." The meeting of the Socialist Parliamentary Group was headed by chairman of the Socialist Party's Parliamentary Group, as the Prime Minister was absent because of his agenda. After the opposition's protest that was held in Tirana and different cities, the U.S. Ambassador Donald Lu held a meeting with the Democratic Party chairman at the Democratic Party's headquarters. Recently, the U.S. ambassador has made efforts to help the parties communicate and find a solution to the political crisis. The meeting was informal, and the media was not informed about it. It has been learned that their discussion was focused on the political situation and the efforts to try to find a solution. The meeting of the U.S. ambassador with the opposition's leader was held a day before the vice president of the European Popular Parties, David McAllister, visits Tirana in an effort to help the parties end the crisis. Mr. McAllister, will be accompanied by member of European Parliament, Knut Fleckenstein, who also has been engaged as a negotiator for political crises in our country. After more than 2 months of the opposition's protests at the tent set up outside the Prime Minister's office, after parliamentary boycott, and after the opposition parties did not register for the June 18th elections, there are slight chances that the parties have found a solution, even though the legal deadlines have already passed. 2 members of European Parliament, Knut Fleckenstein, who is the reporter for Albania at the European Parliament, and David McAllister, the chairman of the Commission for Foreign Issues and representative of European Popular Parties, will visit Tirana tomorrow. The political parties have already received a draft agreement with some points prepared by the members of the European Parliament in order to help parties resolve the impasse the country has been in for 66 days. Before meeting with the political leaders, the members of European Parliament will give a joint statement presenting the aim of their visit in Tirana and the efforts to find a solution to unblock the political situation. Later, they will meet with Prime Minister Rama together with Assembly Speaker Ilir Meta in order to be briefed about the situation. After meeting with the leaders of the ruling coalition, the members of the European Parliament will meet with the DP chairman, Lulzim Basha. Or news sources say that the meeting of the opposition's leader with David McAllister has been confirmed, but the presence of Mr. Fleckenstein is unclear. The resolution of the crisis will depend on this meeting, as the stance of the MEPs regarding the opposition requests for establishment of a provisional government and the postponement of elections remains to be seen. The continuation of negotiations with the members of European Parliament as mediators will depend on the result of these meetings. Meanwhile, the deadline for the registration of candidates for members of Parliament is April 29th. That's all for our English edition this evening. Please join us again Monday through Saturday at 6 p.m. for your local news in English. My name is Cosmo, and on behalf of OR News, thank you and good night.